behind. And prior to that, he raced for Steve Asmussen. He was placed 3 times, but he raced on undercards such as the Risen Star Stakes Day at the fairgrounds, the Bluegrass Stakes Day in Keeneland. So he's used to big money days like this.
I've just remembered. Remind me why we're tossing Emblem Road after what happened last year at 80 to 1. Is it because he's been fairly lightly raced since?
Scotland Yard's better. No, it's because when he went to France, he got well beaten in a terrible race. Yeah. So he didn't really validate the form that he showed here. He is obviously a much better dirt race, but Scotland Yard, when he won the local King Faisal Cup, which was the prep run that Emblem Road used to win this last year, he ran it much quicker than Emblem Road did last year.
It's not relevant to Emblem Road really, but we've had a couple of defending champs who won last year.
Absolutely bomb out.
They're still looking for them tonight.
But then again, the quality of horses on show this year, I would say, is much higher than we saw 12 months ago.
As they jump, and many, many thanks for a spectacular weekend's work again from Richard Hoyles. The stall to keep your eye on is Gate 1, because as goes Panthalassa, and there he goes in, so goes this race. If he jumps and rolls hard, this is going to be fire with a capital F. If he doesn't jump so well and something gets across him, it could become somewhat more tactical. It's speculation. That's what we have to do as racing analysts. But a really good shot there of Panthalassa on the inside gate. Next door to him is a Big Money Mike on Tiber. Frankie will jump from stall 10. Frankie Dettori on Country Grammar. Is the draw a major deal? I don't think it's crucial, is it?
For Country Grammar, actually, it's probably better considering he's a little bit of a layup come from behind horse, stall 10. A lot of the early speed is drawn 1, 3, and 4. So let all of that happen, and Frankie can do what he wants.
Richard Hoyles
for the forward then, 1,800 metres, and the field is loaded away. A little bit of activity in one of the outside gates. All appear pretty well set. Handler in with 1. Long hold, but they're away, jumping in the air. Last year's winner, Emblem Road, gives them a start as Outwell Panthalassa on the inside. He's going forward. Tiber is also taking a handy position, as is Crown Pride, and the 3 from the inside gates are the ones that are cutting out the early fractions. Moving forward into 4th place is Geoglyph. As the field begins to string out, pace appears honest. Frankie Dettori moves Country Grammar up towards the outside. Whitecap casting a glance to the inside as on his outside Cafe Pharoah improves. Remorse sits in midfield in company with Lagata Rhyme. Towards the outside we have Scotland Yard and Emblem Road, who's widest of all. Vandergaard is settled, and the back 2 are Jun Lightbolt, who is towards the back of the pack as they make their way down the back straight in the Saudi Cup. And Panthalassa really now beginning to press on. Has the advantage from in second, Geoglyph in 3rd place, and just pushed along is Tiber to try and stick with the pace, which is strong. Crown Pride is in 4th place. Emblem Road is circling on the outside of Country Grammar, the first 2 home from 12 months ago. Behind these is Remorse, ground up the inside Cafe Pharoah. Joe Moreira, a real ground-saving move on the inside to get onto the heels of the leaders. Panthalassa on the home turn, Geoglyph, Tiber as the Japan Army's musterers, Crown Pride on the outside. Then behind these in 5th place, angling out for a little bit of luck is Cafe Pharoah, trying to stay on from the back. Behind these is Country Grammar, who's got work to do, and Jun Lightbolt towards the inside. Panthalassa moves back to the rails, has the advantage. Geoglyph in 2nd place. Then between horses, Cafe Pharoah, Japan all over the place here. They have the first 4. Panthalassa trying the last home. In 2nd place, Geoglyph, right down the outside. Country Grammar is staying on, but Panthalassa is lasting home at the moment. 50 yards to go. Panthalassa, Country Grammar obviously late, but too late. Panthalassa takes it for Japan, the one they missed last year. They get this time. Country Grammar in 2nd, then all of the Japanese runners all in a heap behind Cafe Pharoah, Crown Pride and Geoglyph for the minor honours. Panthalassa.
Wow. Not a boil over, but a surprise to many. Hard luck if you back Country Grammar. He had a wide trip and he has got going strong and late. But Panthalassa has exploded onto the Saudi scene. He's exploded onto the dirt scene, and he set a fierce gallop. Rachel, he turned away the early pressers and he's turned away the late closers. So not the result that many expected. But this guy, this trainer is unreal. Yoshito Yahagi, wherever in the world he takes horses, whatever tactics he used, whatever surface they raced on, he has the golden touch. And this horse is just, he's a warrior, isn't he?
He's an absolute star, and the way that he just puts his his heart on his sleeve and says, catch me if you can, and it'll take a good one of you to do it. And the fact that I'm just really chuffed that it is for trainer Yoshito Yahagi. We've already seen him in the winner's enclosure earlier on with the stayer, with his hat, his purple hat. He will be so chuffed that the Japanese horses, they came 20 strong. They were six strong in this particular race. They all wanted to win this race. They haven't won it yet. And turning in, there was no reason it wasn't going to be one of the Japanese. Bout Baffert and Frankie Dettori, almost. Again, the problem is I think the 1,800 meters is too short for Country Grammar. That was a brilliant run as a prep for the Dubai World Cup, but he is a 2,000-meter horse through and through. He also was not traveling for the first 1,000 meters of that race.
And talk about hats off, the man, the cat in the hat, Yoshito Yahagi. He isn't there at the moment. They're the winning connections, but it is Japan. Beats America, beats Japan, beats Japan, beats Japan, I think I'm right in saying Japan have at least 4 of the first 5, and he took a very good American horse. Provisional, but a 7 Panthalassa, 2 Country Grammar, sensational effort in defeat, 1 Cafe Pharoah for Japan, 5 Geoglyph for Japan, 3 Crown Pride for Japan, and Emblem Road, after missing the break as usual, couldn't land a blow, but tried hard for 6th. So I don't know a great deal about Yutaka Yoshida, but I know plenty about Yoshito Yahagi, and he's a double on the night. Wherever he goes in the world, he just seems to deliver and deliver. And this horse is one of the most dangerous front runners in the game. We said beforehand that as goes the Panthalassa jump, so goes the Saudi Cup. And he didn't dictate the fractions. He just said, I'm going to run hard, and then when you come to run hard at me, I'm going to run harder still.
Yes, and it was really interesting that some of the horses...
What a nice shot. Doffing the caps, work riders, pony riders and all to the royal box, to the king. So what a moment for that rider. Yutaka Yoshida, a day and night he'll never forget. Did you think he was going to be swallowed up at any point?
No, it was actually only within the final furlong when I saw Country Grammar coming, but then it was like, it's going to be too late again. It's going to be a reversal of last year, because he got to the front last year and got done. And this year, it took him too long to get rolling.
This is interesting, actually, because pioneers do amazing things, but they reshape the game. And in throwing this horse onto the dirt, after what was, no question, a dull effort in Hong Kong, it seems highly likely that he put so much into the Tenno show that he was a spent force in Hong Kong. But after a break, thrown onto the dirt, people like Yahagi are breaking the mold and saying, be more buccaneering, be enterprising, try that different surface, and a result like this is going to encourage more and more people to take a world-class turf horse and say, there's 20 million on dirt there, turf horses can excel on that surface, and he's not the only so-called turf horse who's run an extremely good race here.
No, exactly. You look at Geoglyph back and forth. I mean, he was ranging up there for a long way. And as the great thing, particularly from a world pool perspective, we're always about looking forward. With the likes of Panthalassa and Geoglyph, well, that's just Frank Romantic Warrior's form in the Longines Home Cup.
Very good point.
And he's running tomorrow, round 2, with him in Gold 60. I mean, off the back of this performance, I would tip my hat into him taking it to 2-0.
What a beautiful shot from the infield. Darkness has descended long ago, and darkness has descended for Tabor a long while ago. He ran a very ordinary race. Country Grammar is not a superstar, but he rocks up and gives it all, and he's been beaten round about a similar distance to this race last year. But for his connections, they can say, we were just beaten last year. 4 weeks later, we went one better in Dubai.
No, so we missed out on the 20 million, but we won the 12 million, and they've still picked up a cool $3.5 million. So
he's a formidable racehorse, Country Grammar, isn't he? In that he runs deep every time, and he can be relied on to keep running hard. He's a classic dirt horse. But the winner, if you look back at his Tenno show performance, how often do you see a big field of elite Group 1 horses blown away through the middle third? Not just 10 lengths behind, 15 to 20.